Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jazzy. Happy Halloween. I don't know if I'm going to be posting this before Halloween or after, but either way, I hope you guys are safe and I hope that you guys still manage to enjoy Halloween even with everything going on in the world. I know it's really hard right now to bring your kids trick-or-treating and just like all of the fun that comes along with Halloween. I know that is not really happening this season, but I hope you guys stayed safe and I hope you managed to have a good time. I know that Dominic and I are definitely just going to be probably watching Halloween Town and maybe even When Harry Met Sally. We shall see. I know that's a little less Halloween-y and a little more fall-y, but we are definitely just going to be bunkering down here. We are in an apartment complex area, so there is no trick-or-treating, so we do not have to worry about that. But for those of you that do, I hope you did it safely. So, or do it safely, depending on when I post this video. So I'm bringing you guys an October favorites video this time, and I'm really loving these favorites videos, so hopefully you guys are as well. They're just like really consistent for me, and it's nice to have that consistent video that I do every month. So let's just hop on in and get this thing started for you guys, and we're going to start with my favorite movies of the month, and we have not watched many movies, you guys. Literally, I think the only movie we watched this month was Baby Daddy, or not even Baby Daddy. Why do I keep calling it Baby Daddy? I think because I'm thinking of Baby Driver, which I mentioned on my last video, but Big Daddy is what it is. So the only movie we watched this month is Big Daddy, and it was good. Like it held the test of time. I actually just started Sleepless in Seattle the other day, but I didn't get to finish it. So that obviously is a favorite for me, and it's a staple during the season for me to watch. But yeah, Big Daddy held the test of time. I mean, it's on Netflix right now if you guys want to check it out. But I'm sorry, we didn't really watch a lot of movies this month. We must have, I don't know what happened, honestly. Truthfully, I do know what happened. We have been obsessed with The Office this month. We've just been trying, I don't even know if we've been trying to get through it or like what, but we have just been ongoing, like watching it over and over again. Literally, I think we're on season 6 now, possibly, maybe season 5. But last month is the month that we started it. So, I mean, we are really rolling through The Office. But speaking of The Office, we're going to move on to TV shows. I did take a little break this month, and that was amazing. I took a day break from like working, which I know that I should probably take more of that, but I feel like honestly my YouTube channel is just an ongoing break for me. I love it. It's something that I'm really passionate about, and I really just enjoy creating videos for you guys. So I don't often take time where I'm not thinking about YouTube, but I did take a day where I wasn't this time, and I was going to start Selling Sunset on that day because I don't know, everybody's been raving about Selling Sunset and I still have not gotten around to starting it. So I will hopefully watch that this coming up month, but instead I started Emily in Paris. I really was just trying to watch a few episodes to get a feel for it because I'd heard a lot of good things about it, and then I was going to jump right into Selling Sunset, but I ended up loving Emily in Paris, you guys. Like, it is so good. I ended up binging it like in one day. Literally, I watched it the whole day, and it was amazing. So I highly recommend if you guys like younger or anything along those lines. Well, I feel like I've talked to you guys about this already in a different video. I must have been maybe filming the following day and talked to you guys about it, but highly recommend, especially if you guys like younger. And then I guess this is kind of a movie / documentary that we watched, was The Social Dilemma, which was really informative and really, really interesting, the type of people that they had on it. Definitely recommend if you're interested in like learning a little bit more about what they are accessing through our phones. It takes a little bit, like we thought it was going to be more interesting than it was to us personally, because honestly Dominic and I are super aware of the people listening to us in our phones. Dominic especially is super worried about that stuff all the time, and for me personally, I'm just like, not really. It doesn't really matter to me. However, I did find it really interesting, the fake news aspect of it, that I had never really thought of before, and it really does put things into perspective. One more show that I wanted to recommend to you guys is A Million Little Things. So I started watching this when it first came out, I think like a couple years ago now. and it is so amazing. I ended up restarting it because I actually recommended it to my friend Carrie. Hi, Carrie. She's actually over here on YouTube, so I'll drop her in the comments below. But I recommended it to her, and she loves it. Like, immediately she messaged me, and she was like, so I didn't realize this was going to make me cry. It's definitely not a happy show, but it is a really good show, and I actually started it right after I recommended it to her. Rewatching it because, I mean, I don't know. It's such a cute show, and I just really love it. I might even like it better than This Is Us, and I really like This Is Us, so that's saying a lot. So the next thing that I want to tell you guys about is my favorite buys. So my favorite buy is actually, I didn't buy it this month, but I bought it in the past, and we have gotten so much use out of it. And it is actually this birdhouse. I saw it on TikTok, and Dominic and I did not know what to do with Sunday, to be honest, because when we moved here, she just started to bark a lot, and she really doesn't like being alone, especially now that I'm not working as much out and about. She is used to me being home, so when we leave, she's not good. So we ended up buying this birdhouse a couple of months ago, and it worked wonders. Like, it worked immediately. She just stopped barking. So basically what it is it like lets off a sound that only animals can hear, which the only negative I'd say is that we obviously do have our cats as well, and it does make them upset, which I feel bad about. And I also feel bad about doing it to her as well, but it really has worked, and I've recorded her since we've gotten this birdhouse, and she literally is like quiet as a mouse now, and it's just so much better. The other negative I would say is that sometimes I forget to turn it off when I come back in the house, and I don't realize, and I feel so bad because I know that it hurts her ears. But she's actually really good about, like, it doesn't really seem like it hurts her too bad, but the cats definitely scurry when they hear it. So I highly recommend this, especially if you guys are going on like vacation or something with your pet. We bring Sunday everywhere we go. So like we don't like boarding her. Not even that we don't like boarding her. Dominic refuses to board her. He has the biggest heart for animals, and he just will not leave her like boarded somewhere. It's just not. It's something he's totally against. I've tried because I used to board my cat growing up, or not my cat. My cat, we did actually used to board my cats, but I used to board my dog that I had growing up as well. And I don't know, it was never an issue. And she actually always kind of enjoyed being boarded, but, I guess, what do I know when I wasn't there? So did she really enjoy it? I'm not quite sure. But yeah, so we bring Sunday everywhere with us, which we don't mind, but it does become a hassle when you're staying at somebody else's house with like an Airbnb situation and she's barking and stuff. So this has been really helpful, and it's really nice because it's very easily transported. It's just this tiny box thing that you can bring with you. So like I said, highly recommend. I think it was like $25 or something along those lines. So really cheap for what it is. So moving on to my favorite food of the month. So this month, Dominic's job ended up giving him like this 4-day weekend out of nowhere that we didn't book any like trip for or anything. So I ended up wanting to make it kind of special for him and do like some sweet treats for him and like just have like just a nice time. I guess like do like a little staycation type of thing, but not going out because like I've mentioned a million times, we don't like dealing with the pandemic situation, so we would just prefer to eat in. So I ended up doing like a couple of different meals for him, and I ended up making him a couple of different desserts that we never have. And one of them was called peanut butter lasagna. You guys, it was unreal. Like, it was so good. Literally what it is it's peanut butter. So it's like, there's actually barely any peanut butter now that I think of it, but it's got those nutty butters on the bottom, and then above that you have like a layer of whipped cream and cream cheese, I think is what is mixed together there. And then you've got a layer of chocolate pudding, and then a layer of the whipped cream stuff again. And then on top of it, you do like a drizzle of peanut butter. You guys, oh my gosh, it's 100% going to be a staple for like all family gatherings now because it was so good. And oh, it was just so delicious. Probably one of the best desserts I've made in a really long time. I also ended up making these things for breakfast called Hocus Pocus balls. So what it is you get like croissant rolls and you wrap a marshmallow in them, or like you dip the marshmallow in cinnamon and sugar and then you wrap them in the croissant rolls, which I actually use biscuits now that I think of it, because in the comment section on Pinterest somebody said to use biscuits instead, and the biscuits did work really well. So you wrap the marshmallow in the biscuit and then you bake it in the oven, and oh my gosh, you guys, they were so yummy and they just made you feel super warm inside. They were like those Cinnabon. They were better. They were honestly better than these Cinnabon things, but they have these Cinnabon donut things at Taco Bell. If you guys have ever tried them, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't tried them, you definitely need to try them because they're so delicious. But yeah, so the reason that they call them Hocus Pocus balls is because the marshmallow actually like evaporates in there, like it melts obviously and becomes like ooey on the sides, so it's no longer in there, so it's supposed to be like a ghost. Or I also read in the comments that some people call them resurrection balls and they eat them on Easter, I think it was, which is also really cool. But they were amazing and I'm definitely gonna make them more often because they were super cheap and really, really delicious. So yeah, 2 desserts things this time. I also made this really yummy beef stroganoff in the crock pot. I made it with ground beef, which was different but very good. So that was good as well. I'll leave that in the description as well. Okay, and then my favorite song of the month, you guys. My favorite song this month, and this one might get some drama back at me, but it is Demi Lovato's new song, Commander in Chief, and I just think it's a really important message, and I cried when I watched it. So I just remembered something else that I watched was that American Murder Story. I forget what it's called, but the thing on Netflix about Chris Watts and his wife. That's a hard watch, you guys, and I got super invested in it this month. I was just sitting here thinking, like, what happened this month? Because I really didn't watch very much, and I really feel like I didn't really do that much. But when I thought about it, I remember I got super invested in that, and I ended up watching this, like, checking out this YouTube channel that goes in depth and, like, listening to all the different interviews and stuff. And I'm not going to say my opinion on that whole situation because, honestly, my opinion doesn't matter because at the end of the day, like, it's just a really tragic thing that happened. But I highly recommend. I'll actually put the YouTube channel that I listen to in the comments, and I highly recommend you guys go listen to it because the Netflix documentary does a really good job explaining some things, but then there are some things where I definitely would have thought differently had I just watched the Netflix documentary and not listened to those different YouTube channels afterwards. But yeah, I got really invested in that. But whenever I watch like scary things or stuff like that, it's usually really hard for me to sleep at night. So I tried to like distance myself before Dominic and I went on vacation because I already have a really hard time sleeping on vacation. Like whenever we stay at Airbnbs, I already have like a really hard time trusting the Airbnb and like being comfortable in it, which luckily I didn't have that issue this time. But I ended up like distancing myself from that whole story because I was like, I can't do that when I'm going on vacation in a couple of days and I'm gonna have to deal with that in my brain psychologically. But anyway, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's shorter than most of my months have been, but to be very honest, I haven't really, like, we've done a lot this month, but most of it has been either traveling. Truthfully, I took you guys along this month quite a bit, and so you guys kind of saw everything that I did this month because I did a lot more vlogs this month. But definitely stay tuned for next month. Next month is November already, you guys. So let's get ready for like all of the Thanksgiving things. I'm super excited, and I hate that I do this, but I am one of those people that totally like just bypass Thanksgiving and jumps right into the Christmas of it all. So let's just get ready for Christmas and prepare ourselves because that is going to be really fun content to bring you guys. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please remember to hit that red subscribe button. You guys mean so much to me, and I am so close to 500, so I would really appreciate it if you guys would join the family if this is your first video that you guys are watching, and stick around because, like I said, there's a lot of fun things to come. Alright guys, I'll see you next time.